Hey, welcome back. This is Ken Fatula, and we're going to be doing the deviled eggs. And deviled eggs, I know what you're thinking. What's the deal with deviled eggs? I mean, everybody knows how to make a deviled egg. It's like making a hot dog, which of course I've already done that video, or roasting a marshmallow, which, let's face it, did you learn anything? Probably not. All right, what we're going to do, one of the things that, do you ever get a deviled egg and the thing is dripping with water? What I did was I patted these dry because I don't like stuff running down my hand when I'm eating a deviled egg. Now, deviled eggs usually when people are making them, they use mayonnaise, maybe some sweet relish, the mustard, some salt, and then they powder it with paprika, which there's nothing wrong with any of that. But I thought that we would approach it a little differently today. And we would try to insert some flavor into our deviled eggs. So I am removing the yolk from 3 of these deviled eggs, or 3 of these hard-boiled eggs. And by the way, I know that you probably, a lot of you have worked on hard-boiled eggs. We have a system. Apparently, you put the eggs in. This is one approach, and this is the one that we used yesterday for the first time. I'll be honest with you. My wife wants you to think we've always done it this way. It's not true. What I've got here is you take the eggs, you put them in a pan, you fill them to, you've got 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water covering the eggs, and then you put it on the stove. You add about a teaspoon of vinegar. Now the vinegar is supposed to help the eggs from the shells not to break. I'm assuming that there's some kind of chemical thing, reaction with maybe, I don't know, calcium or something in the eggshell. It doesn't really matter. But we put it in, and as soon as it comes to a boil, you turn it off, turn off the heat. Now, there's another approach here where it says that when it comes off, or when you turn it off, you're supposed to remove it from the heat. I did not do that yesterday. Eventually we did, but it was on the heat for a little while. I had turned it off, and it kept on boiling some. And then you just take it off for the next 10 to 12 minutes, and then you take the eggs, pour the water off, put cold water in, and let them come down. The heat is supposed to be driven out by the cold water, and then you can shell them, or I should say take the shells off of them. That seems to be a reasonable approach to everything. And we did, my wife actually took the shells off, but I'm assuming that it worked well. At least, I hope it did. What we're going to do is cut a few things for the deviled eggs. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't necessarily want a sweet deviled egg, but I do want one that has a little interest to it. You know what I mean? And you can't beat a bell pepper. You don't need a lot, you just need enough, especially with this, that just constitutes 3 eggs. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this in the smallest shards that I can. And this is not exact, this is a steak knife. Why I'm using this, I really don't know. Cut some small pieces off. Now, if I was a real chef, this would have been done 5 minutes ago. Let's go with the onion. I got this sweet onion. Oh. We're not going to be using very much of this either. But it'll have some interest. That's what I'm after. It's just something to give it a little bit of interest. I want it to be sweet. I want it to be different. I want to throw in some herbs. So I've got basil, fresh basil. If you cut basil early, it will start to turn dark. It'll blacken. So you don't want to do that. That's why, and I apologize for not cutting some of these things ahead of time. I did on others. But onion can lose some of its potency if it's cut too soon. And bell pepper, probably not. I don't know that it would be affected very much. All right, now this is a fair amount given the very little bit of yolk that I've got there. But we're gonna smash this up. Now the next thing that I'm going to use is just like everybody else uses it. I'm going to get mayonnaise. How much mayonnaise? Honestly, I don't know how much is going to cream it up well. This is a teaspoon, and I'm doubling up on it. Let me get, oh, salt. Never forget the salt. So I've got a little bit of salt. I'm not going to put pepper in it because we're going to be using smoked pepper on the outside of the thing. Now, get the forky. And it might have been better to get the yolk started first, or I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this, but I just wanted to make something different. I believe we're going after some more mayo. The whole thing about deviled eggs is it's creamy. And I think that that's what appeals to people. And of course the flavor. People are accustomed to eating something, especially if there's relish in it, it's going to be sweet. I want it to have a sweet note, but I don't want to have it, just sickening. I don't want it to be one-dimensional, that's all. And by no means am I saying that, oh, Ken Fatula makes the best deviled eggs. No, it's just an idea. And this looks to be about right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start inserting them. I'm going to be laying them on this because, as my wife pointed out, they have a tendency to roll around a little bit. So we're going to try to avoid that if possible. Oh my goodness, Jim. Already I can tell. I like something that has a little bit of robustness to it, a little bit of, I don't know, interest. Now the next thing I'm going to do is smoked paprika. Oh, I'm going to try to, don't think badly of me. Oh, wow. I'm going to put some smoked paprika on those. The next ones we're going to make are going to be more of a Mexican flair. Say, what? Yes. Because if you've watched anything that I ever made, I'm all about Mexican. I think that their food is amazing. That's the word I'm going to use. So now that I've made these deviled eggs sort of a more mild approach to it, although albeit with some interest, we've added some vegetables to it. Now we're going to go and see what can we do in the world of Mexican. Woo! I'm getting excited already. I have some spices that are typical, that are often used, herbs, with Mexican food. So I thought, and I've never done this, so if this doesn't work, I'll just, you could blame Ken's audacity thinking that he can make a deviled egg that actually is better. Frankly, the deviled eggs that I just made are pretty darn good. We're going to add mayonnaise again because we need to. I'm going to put in roughly the same amount. Got some mayo, but it doesn't end there. What I've got here for herb is cilantro. We also have chili pepper. All right, so now I got the yolk, I got the mayonnaise. Now I'm going to add some special stuff. Cilantro. Yes, I love cilantro. We're going to be using this for something else that I'll be preparing today, but put a little cilantro. Oh yeah. Cholula. I guess that's how I guess you pronounce it. It's a sweet habanero. It is a little warm. That's why we're putting very little bit on it. Chili powder. I just want it to have a flavor, some interest. And these are actually the small stems of green onion, otherwise known as, I guess, scallions or something. But that's what those are. And I imagine you could use any kind of onion that would be small enough to be incorporated into your egg, that is the yolk. Now let's see, I wonder if I'm going to need some more mayo. We'll find out in a minute. Oh. Remember, I've never done this before. For all I know, this is the first time in human history that anybody has ever made a deviled egg like this. But then I'm probably full of it. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see if we can do magic. All right, I had to wash my hands because I needed to put, this is the pièce de résistance or something, I don't know. It's chipotle. I don't want to put much on. I just want to put enough on. And sometimes this stuff comes out pretty. And that one probably is going to be warm. I'm going to eat one. Gonna eat one. Where's the one that's broken? I'm gonna eat the broken one.
This is a Mexican one, right?
This is Mexican. A Mexican-inspired deviled egg. It's got a little bit heat background. Oh, I like it. Oh, I should have had more chives in it. Or let me sample one of our original, the one that I did earlier with the sweet onion, the bell pepper, and basil. People, you need to try this out. Absolutely. By the way, I didn't put any salt on these. Frankly, I don't think it needs it. Oh, okay, look. Try it out. Live dangerously. Put different flavors. Don't make your plain Jane. Man, that's good. Don't make your plain Jane deviled egg. And it doesn't have to be sweet. It just needs to have flavor, different flavors. Hey, that's all I got for you on deviled eggs. I hope that you enjoyed it. Try it, seriously. This is some great stuff. And I've been told that I should ask you to like and subscribe. I actually do have some subscribers. But like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Try this. I'm serious. Eggs cost like $1.29 for a dozen. You can have a lot of fun with eggs. Take care. God bless.